Finn and Jake aren't exactly the most successful heroes. They save the day sometimes, but just as often they accidentally make things worse, get distracted halfway through, or end up arguing. Despite all this, you can't say they don't try. In fact, they take on a lot of errands and missions for anyone who needs their help. It's not what you would call a career, but more like a series of odd jobs. Monster hunting one day, delivering a letter the next, babysitting a cinnamon bun after that. It's inconsistent and unpredictable, but somehow it is familiar to many. Because that's how a lot of work looks today. The idea of side gigs has become so normal that for a lot of people, they are the main job. So today we're going to talk about the gig economy and how Adventure Time demonstrates what it's like to live in. Finn and Jake's day-to-day lives are what you might call freelance. They don't clock into an office or answer to an employer like Mordecai and Rigby. Instead, they take jobs from anyone who needs help. One day they're saving a princess from Ice King, the next they're retrieving some rare artifact, and after that they're fighting off some monstrous villain. Each day is basically a new client or gig. It's work that depends entirely on demand, and whether the next quest even exists is totally out of their control. Their lifestyle is spontaneous, flexible, and full of uncertainty. All traits that sound very familiar to something we're seeing in the real world. That something is what we now call the gig economy. Instead of working for a single employer, people take on short-term or contract-based work. These include ride-sharing, deliveries, design work, and tutoring. It's built on independence but also instability. There's freedom in being your own boss, but the trade-off is that there's no guaranteed paycheck, no benefits, and no one looking out for you when things go wrong. In many ways, Finn and Jake are the perfect parallel to this kind of work model. They're constantly chasing the next opportunity, often taking whatever job they can find just to keep moving. Coming up, we'll take a look at how their adventures end up reflecting the exact struggles and freedoms that define the gig economy today. Let's start with one of the most common forms of gig work today, rideshare and delivery. While Finn may carry a sword, a lot of the time he's less of a hero and more of an errand boy. In Monster, he and Jake get a request straight from the Lumpy Space royal family. Find LSP and deliver a basket of sandwiches. Basically a DoorDash order along with a missing person pickup. But like most delivery jobs, the description leaves out everything that's about to go wrong. The moment they hit the road, they get dragged into another customer problem. A village dealing with a mysterious monster eating their crops. And that monster? It's LSP. So now their delivery job has turned into resolving a family dispute, calming down an angry village, and convincing LSP to apologize. All while somehow still being responsible for the sandwiches. That's the reality of gig work. You sign up to deliver food and end up doing 3 other jobs you're not paid for. That's the same issue millions of gig workers face today. A 2020 Economic Policy Institute study found that roughly 14% of gig workers earn less than the federal minimum wage, and nearly 30% earn less than their state's minimum. These are the people taking order after order, not because they love the hustle, but because the system never lets them rest. Finn doesn't work for an app, but he might as well. His world runs on the same principle: endless motion, endless labor, and no guaranteed reward. Some heroes slay dragons. Finn and Jake take jobs that eat them alive. In Belly of the Beast, Finn and Jake are hired to take down a rampaging monster, but once they are swallowed whole, they realize it's less of a beast and more of a party venue. Finn tries to warn them, but no one listens. That's what freelancing looks like today. You take what sounds like a simple gig, design a logo, write a script, fix some code, and end up managing a client's existential crisis. They want bold, but not too bold. Quirky, but serious. Urgent, but not rushed. You're deep in revisions before you realize the real monster isn't the task, it's the circus around it. In freelancing, this phenomenon even has a name. It's called scope creep. It's when the original assignment keeps expanding. The client keeps adding new demands, changing objectives, or requesting revisions, until what started as a simple task turns into something much bigger and more chaotic. And like Finn, most freelancers don't walk away from the job. They adapt. They throw on the party hat, keep the client happy, and pretend it's all part of the quest. Out of 31 million YouTube channels, only about 80,000 are actually making money. The rest, they're playing the algorithm lottery. After their movie club is postponed when they discover what copyright is, Finn and Jake try to make their own film. On paper, it's simple. Grab a camera, capture some footage, and tell a story. In reality, it's a total gamble. Every clip they shoot is a coin flip. Does it tell an interesting story? Is it relevant? And post-production is a challenge as well. BMO edits on his own, deciding what the world sees. Finn and Jake pour in hours, energy, and creativity, but the payoff is entirely out of their hands. This is what creative gigs look like today. Whether you're making YouTube videos, streaming, or selling art online, success depends less on skill and more on algorithms, trends, and sheer luck. Like Finn and Jake, creators pour their energy into a project only to watch it land in obscurity. The thrill of success comes with the constant fear of irrelevance. This is why many creators burn out before seeing any success. This isn't the same as 99% of gamblers quitting before their big win. This is more like overcoming a hurdle that is so steep while seeing so many others with massive followings that makes people quit trying before they see success. Now we meet the valedictorian of the gig economy, the hyper-occupied multitasker who delivers DoorDash, drives Uber, and answers customer service calls, all from the front seat of his car. In the gig economy, over 30% of workers juggle at least 2 jobs, and about 7% have 3 or more. That's not a side hustle, that's a personality disorder. But that's the 21st century, one where being self-employed means switching between delivery apps, freelance clients, and whatever new startup calls itself their version of Uber. While the modern worker is seen as lazy, there are some that are severely overbooked. They can call themselves their own boss, but also their own accountant, marketer, scheduler, and therapist. There's no clock to punch, so they never stop working. They call it freedom, but it looks a lot more like being haunted by notifications. In my 2 favorite people, Jake's problem isn't that he's underpaid, it's that he overpromised. He's fighting monsters, spending time with Rainicorn, keeping Finn alive, and trying to squeeze in viola practice. He's just another guy managing too many open tabs in real life. And like a lot of gig workers today, he's chasing balance in a system that rewards burnout. The more jobs you take, the less you sleep, and the more you start to mistake exhaustion for ambition. The gig economy promises freedom and it delivers. You're free to work anytime, anywhere, for anyone. But that freedom comes with a twist. The escape from one boss only creates hundreds more, each with their own demands and deadlines. It's the same for Finn and Jake as they chase recognition and take on impossible quests that are dangerous, and in many cases unrewarding. And while the challenges are significant, for many it promises something other jobs can't offer, which is the peace of mind knowing that the only person you can truly let down or impress is yourself. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time.